and welcome to KC360's podcast on navigating college admissions. I'm Christy, your host, and during our time together, we'll cover college admission tips and tricks to help your college search be a success. Hey, and welcome back. I'm Christy. If you haven't heard me before, and I'm a college planning consultant, founder of KC360, and someone who has spent way too many hours thinking about what students should actually do with their summers. So we have a couple episodes for the summer. I normally take the summer off, but we've got a couple episodes for the summer for you, for students that are rising juniors, rising seniors. So today's episode is one that I genuinely love because it answers a question I get almost every week around this time of year. If my student wants to get into a top school, what should they be doing? If my student wants to get into a every track school, what should they be doing? And so this question is something we're going to address in the episode today. I think it's a great question, and the honest answer is it really depends on the goal. Whether your student is looking at an Ivy track or a select or every track, it really does depend on your goal, but maybe not how you think. So today we're going to walk through what I'm calling the Ivy track versus the every track framework. We're going to follow one fictional student, Maya, through two completely different summers, sort of a choose your adventure kind of episode. Okay, so let's get started. Same student, two paths, two sets of choices, and we'll see what each one looks like in a college application. Neither path is wrong, but intentionality, that's the non-negotiable. All right, so let me introduce you to Maya. She's a rising senior, smart, curious, involved in school, genuinely cares about her future, but isn't quite sure what she wants to study. Sound familiar? Maya has roughly 10 weeks of summer. She has some family obligation, volunteers, works at a local cafe a couple hours, and she has a loose interest in environmental issues and writing. Now, two versions of this summer exist for Maya, and I want to walk you through both. This is where the choose your own adventure comes in. In version A, Maya's family has decided she's aiming for a highly selective school. We're talking Ivies, top 25, that tier. So we're making some intentional choices about the summer. And here is what Maya's summer looks like. From a selective track, environmental policy research project with a local university contact, and that could be local in your country. Weekly writing for a student-run environmental blog. She pitches and she's accepted. A leadership role organizing a neighborhood recycling drive. She recruits 12 volunteers. She reads 3 books related to environmental science and policy and writes brief summaries. She begins a rough Common App essay draft over the summer. Maya every track, her summer could look like this. Her volunteer job or job at the cafe got bumped to full-time. She saves money for college applications and test score sending. Her weekly volunteer shifts increase on 1 day a week to a local food bank, and it's consistent and meaningful. She starts a personal nature journey, weekly observations, sketches, reflections, and reads a book or two that she's been wanting to read, one a memoir, and maybe one about something related to the environment. She has long conversations with her friends and her school counselor about her college list. So, let's talk about Maya A, selective track, summer work for selective schools. It's not the research project by itself, it's the combination of depth, documented impact, and there's a whole thread there. Admissions readers at a highly selective school are looking for students who show evidence of genuine intellectual engagement. Maya didn't just say she cares about the environment. She showed up. She produced something. She led something, and she wrote about it. So here's what I want you to notice. This isn't a $10,000 summer program. She connected with a university contact locally, pitched a blog, organized her neighbors. These are accessible moves. They just required intentionality and follow through. So it's not about the expense of a program. It's about the strategy. And the early essay draft, that's the move a lot of students really skip. Don't skip it. Now let's talk about Maya B, the every track Maya. Her summer looks quieter on paper, but here's what I want you to hear. It's not lesser. It's different. And for the right school, it is fantastically compelling. Maya B, Maya every track is going to walk into her applications with a work ethic story, how her job or volunteer work went full time, how she managed her schedule, saved money, showed up when it was hard. That is real. And admission readers really respect that, especially when they understand the context. A service story with consistency. She doesn't just volunteer one time at 5 places. She went back to the food bank. And reliability tells a story about character. So that character part that we work on during the college project, this is where that matters and that language matters. A personal intellectual story, that nature journal, it shows curiosity without an audience. Whether anyone read it or not, she is working to reflect on herself and grow herself internally. And it shows she engages with her interests even when no one is watching. That is gold. And that conversation with her counselor and her friends, those are all strategic. She's thinking about her future with clarity, and she's thinking about her list. She's looking at her profile and what she needs to build. That's a head start. That's amazing. So Maya every track is not behind. She's actually right on track for a great fit school that will see exactly who she is, and they will want her for it. The school on Maya every track, those schools on her list, strong regional schools, maybe an honors program, colleges with merit aid, they are looking for students who know themselves and show up authentically. And for most of you that I work with, that's you. And Maya is becoming that student. So those two ideas, those two scenarios, which one might you be? Or are you a combination? And I want you to really think about what you should be, because that's not really the right question. I feel like what you should be is the wrong question. The real question is, can you clearly articulate who you are, and if your summer work matters, what your summer work was, why it mattered, and what you learned about it? That's the college application skill, not the activity, but the reflection of it. Can you clearly articulate you? And so it's not who you're becoming and who you should be, but really, can you articulate it? Here's the truth. I have read essays from students who attended elite summer programs and said absolutely nothing. And I've read essays from students who worked at, a gas station or Chick-fil-A, or, they did kind of what Maya did. They did her own learning experience, and they stopped me in my tracks with their clarity and self-awareness. So the activity is the raw material. The meaning making is actually the essay and the application. So here's what I want every parent student to do with this type of framework. First, be honest about the goal. If a highly selective school is genuinely on your list, then Maya, selective school, that level of intentionality is worth pursuing, and strategy. Not because you have to do research, but because the depth and the thread matter at that tier when you're looking at select and Ivy Leagues. Second, don't use selectivity as a benchmark if it doesn't match your reality. A student pursuing a great fit school doesn't need a summer that looks like a selective school resume. You need a summer that makes them interesting, self-aware, and ready to write. Third, and I'll say this especially if you're a global family, your student's unconventional summer is not a disadvantage if you know how to name it. Living cross-culturally, navigating transitions, working in a different language, these are resume builders. They just need to be articulated. So if your family is mid-move, living abroad, or in a country where a typical summer program just isn't accessible, I see you, and I don't want you to worry. And I want to say it clearly, you're not behind. I've watched globally mobile families do a summer that looks like nothing and document, deepen, connect, and write in an extraordinary way. Let me tell you what I mean by that. They've documented the cross-cultural experience they're already living in a journal, a blog, a photo essay. They've deepened a language, immersion, conversations, media, relationships. This is a skill that a lot of domestic students really struggle to replicate. Connect, they've connected with online programs, competitions, or research projects accessible from anywhere. And writing, Write a context statement for your application, a short narrative that helps your admissions counselor understand your unique background. This makes your student go from ordinary to extraordinary. The work is really learning how to name it. So, whether you're Ivy track, every track, both Mayas, one Maya, here is the truth. The best summer is the one that you can actually own. Not perform, not embellish, that you own. And if you want your student to think through this specific path, I've put together some downloadable guides for you to download. They're in the show notes. You can download them easily, and it breaks down projects, service, and reflection, all so that you can translate that into strong college applications at any level. So if you know a family that's having a conversation right now, or you're having these conversations, wrestling with kind of what the summer should look like, or maybe what you wish it were, then share this episode with them. It might be exactly what they need to hear. Download the resource guide and figure out if that's for you. We'll host another 6 weeks challenge. If you're not sure what you want to major in, if you're not sure where you want to go to school, if you don't have your college draft list, that's okay. We'll host a 6 weeks challenge at the end of the summer in July. And we will also work on the essay summit. So if you don't have your essay done, that's okay too. Just take a break and don't think about it until it's time for that course. And then if you have all your essay and you have your college draft list ready, then join us the first week in August as we do the 6 week challenge for seniors. And we work on your calendar to complete your applications, a scholarship tracker, making sure that your activities list and everything is the best that it can be. So there's a lot of resources for you so that you can take a break this summer, enjoy what you're doing, dive into the intentionality of what you want to do and who you are, and enjoy it and take a breath and know that you are not behind, you're actually on your way. A question I am asked daily is, how do I get scholarships? In response to this critical question, I've created the Scholarship Secrets course. Learn how to get scholarships in around a day. Through this course, by learning the system, understanding the collegiate scholarship and financial aid system, the secrets to finding scholarships just for you, and the strategy, implementing ways to successfully apply and get scholarships. Join me today for this self-paced course that helps you understand how to fund your college dreams.